What's up, Game Devs? T-Chan here, and welcome to episode 17 of Game Dev Loadout, where I chat with the best people in the game industry 7 days a week. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast for new daily episode filled with valuable information. And now let's chat with today's future guest, Ahmad Bilal Khan. Bilal, it is go time. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes, so he is the co-founder of Zevin Solution that helped develop various mobile games, including my own video game called Finding Leo, and he has been in the game industry for more than 3 years. Go ahead, Bilal, and give us a bit about your personal life and how you got started in the game industry.
Hi everyone. I would like to, say thank you to Tony for giving me this opportunity to have this interview with you. First of all, pardon me for my language because I'm not good in English because I'm from Middle East and this is not our native language.
You sound great to me.
All right, thank you. So, my name is Ahmad Bilal Khan, and I am I have been in this gaming industry for last 3 years now. Before that, I was doing my software engineering from a reputed university over here in Pakistan. I'm basically from Pakistan, right? So I started my journey as a software engineer. So during our university, I will tell you how I basically got into this game development stuff. Because over here in universities, if you are doing software engineer or IT, if you are from IT background, the teachers and the universities, they don't teach you game development. So same was the case with us. We have had no idea what was, how was the game development like, and if we used to, because we have that curiosity about the game development. So we used to ask our teachers in the, starting semesters that how can we develop a game? So they were always like, you have to search it yourself. So they told us that this IT industry is all about researching and doing your own research and learning stuff yourself. So that was put in our mind at that time that we have to learn it ourselves. So I made a decision that day that I'm definitely gonna learn game development, and I'm gonna strive hard and learn it myself. So I took the step in the second semester, maybe it was second or third semester. So I made a small game. Right now we use Unity 3D. Most of you must have heard about Unity 3D. It's basically a gaming engine through which the gaming has been made much simpler, and game development has been made much simpler and easier. You can do amazing stuff using Unity 3D. It's a cross-platform gaming engine. A cross-platform gaming engine is something. It's a kind of gaming engine in which you can develop a game and you can get the game for Android plus iOS and many other platforms. So it's a great plus. It's a blessing for the game developers. Going back to the history, I started learning stuff over the internet. I used to Google and I used to read blogs that how people started game development, and then I got some motivation and I started it. I made a small project with a group of people in my university, and then that project was awarded as the best project of that semester. So our motivations got up, and we were unstoppable at that time. so we we decided that definitely we will start a career in this field. Then after that we got along, and we in every semester we would make a small game or something like that in different using different language. For example, once we made a game using .NET. Once we made a game uses Android language, and we kept on developing games. When our final semester came, in a software, university, in a software field, you have to make a final year project. That sums up your whole, university life, because it's really very important for you. Even the companies, the IT companies which offer you jobs, they especially look what the project is all about. What final year project have you made during your university life? It is a really important thing for a student in his university life. So I decided to make a game again, but teachers were all criticizing me that you will not be able to, develop this big of a game, and we can't even guide you because the teachers themselves didn't have the experience of game development. So they were, they were like, we can't help you if you get stuck somewhere during the project. We can't take you, out of that. So I was like, I don't need any help. I'll do it myself. I just need your signatures. You can just be the supervisor and I'll do it myself. So much rejections were faced. I was demotivated at a time. Even the students, they were like, don't go this way. That's a no-go area. But I had a strong belief in myself and my teammates. So we built the game. We worked hard. We worked really hard on that. After that, we participated in a gaming expo. That's the whole universities of Pakistan, which is our country. The students come with their final year project of the university and they participate in that competition. And then the award is presented to the best project all over the country. So I participated in that. We worked really hard. We integrated some hardware in that game too, and we got the first position. So that was a big plus for us, and that was a huge motivation for us. Our motivation levels just boosted up to the sky. So after that, we just decided that I'll definitely, I got jobs from so many companies after that because there were so many, there were less gaming studios in Pakistan and there was so much demand of game developers at that time. I started my career. I got like 8 to 9 jobs in the start, but I chose a company where I thought my skills would polish and my learning will increase day by day. So I joined a company, happened to work on many different platforms there. For example, iOS, Android, website, Kinect, Oculus Rift, the virtual reality, augmented reality. So yeah, I have experience in all of these. Right now, I have experience of more than 3 years professionally in the game development career, but I have been developing games for like 5 or 6 years now. Yeah. So after that, I did my job. I got my experience, and then I thought, why not start my own company? So after 2 years of professional experience, I resigned from a previous company, and then I founded this company called Zen Solutions. And now we have been developing games for the clients, and we have a development. We have a gaming wing in which right now we have like 30 employees in our company. We also deal in websites, applications, and 3D animations and stuff. But our gaming wing is separate from that. That's called Mind Level, and we have like 10 dedicated game developers in this gaming development department. We have worked on like 40 or 50 games now for the clients. We also have some our own products, and we also provide our services to the clients. So that's pretty much it from my side.
And see, I love and thank you for telling us your story. I love this because you were self motivated to create a game when all the teachers and professors and even students were against it, but you believed in yourself and you just kept making games. And that was what's more important is that you just kept go ahead and making those games, one game after another, after another, after another. You were motivated more each time you completed a game and showed it to the world. And now you have your own company now, and you're growing as we speak. And you have a ton of developers and clients. So great job on that for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
So let's go ahead and switch to, you have a lot of skills in VR and game development and animation. What do you consider your main area of expertise?
My main area of expertise is game development. Definitely, it's game development. Because my personal experience. But after that, when you start your own company, then you jump into development for less time comparatively, and you focus more on the business part, and you keep on bringing business on board, and you make your developers do the donkey stuff, but you keep yourself on the high level and you make the architectures of the game and the workflows and you monitor all the progress made by the developers. So that's how it is.
So since you're the one that's leading the team, people that's also leaders or leading their own team, what do you suggest they use in order to be like effective leaders or effective team players?
All right. So I have two suggestions. One for the team leads who are giving their services to the clients, and one is for other people who are developing their own games. So one for the team who are working on their own products, and one advice for the people who are giving services to the clients. Right. First of all, for the team who are giving their services to the clients, they are developing the game for the client. First of all, the client does not have that much knowledge of a game as you do. So it's your ethical and moral duty to guide the client and educate the client along with the lines. Most of the team leads or developers, when they see that client does not have any experience in the game development, they try to take advantage of that, and they do that stuff which is easy for them, that ultimately causes the failure of the game, because it's not that it does not have that much good of a user experience, right? So eventually they ruin the game for their easiness, and then all of the things are messed up. So that's a big setback for the client too. So if they want to grow as a game developer and as a team lead and as a company, first of all, you've got to be honest, right? And see the project from the client's eyes. If your money is invested in that particular project. So, first of all, that. And if you see it from the client's perspective, obviously you will do everything to make it a success. Whether you take more time, whether you have to go out of the box, whether you have to, do anything, you will do that. If you see the project from the client's perspective, you will kind of fall in love with the project, right? You have to see the project from the user perspective too. For example, you are making the game, you are liking it, but then play the game as a user, as the end user. If you don't like the game as an end user, then no point of making the game, because at the end of the day, the game is going to be played by the end user, right? So you start thinking of developing a game with the eye of the end user. Be your own critique.
Yeah, you are completely right. And I think that's a great advice. Play it as if you were the end user, because for one, when you're creating the game, you're like so much in love with it that you might you might not notice, or you might just let negative things slide by. And
Exactly.
on the other side of users, they might like have a whole different perspective on it that you didn't notice, or you just didn't pay attention to. And that could be really fatal to the game itself. And so, yeah, you're right. It's so important to play as if you were the end user to see what they might think about it, or, probably put like a demo out there and get their feedback right away and see if you need to improve anything, or to see what they think about it. Cause you'd be completely surprised at what other players think about your game when you didn't even think about it.
Exactly. One little advice for people who are making their own products. Start looking for a unique selling point, a USP. For example, if you are making a product and you are just going to make a simple game which is already out there, and people are, for example, Clash of Clans was a big hit, and after that, if you are just making a similar game with similar idea and similar gameplay, then nobody is going to bother and nobody is going to play. Start looking for a unique selling point. For example, I like your idea because you identified a game which was for web version and for a specific market, and people who were using mobile were missing out on that game, on that particular game. So it was a good idea to introduce that game as a mobile game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a smart choice. I would say identify any unique selling point, identify new things, come up with a new idea, polish it, tell it to the people. There's no harm in discussing the idea with the people. You get the positive feedback, you get the negative feedback, but at the end of the day, your products get improved. So that's the key point.
Ooh, you're giving out gold right here. Now let's go ahead and switch it up a bit now. What would be the biggest obstacle you have to face in the game industry? Like it could be in a big issue you have to overcome or an emotion. Give us like a personal experience and be detailed about it.
Yeah. So there were two kinds of issues. One was when I was working as a game developer in a company, and the other one is when I am doing my own work, right? So, but when I was a developer, so I had to do the work which was assigned to me by the company. The company has a specific kind of clientele. They assigned us with the particular kind of task, for example, a one tap game, right? Like Flappy Bird or something like that. So once we developed the game in like a month or two, after that we were assigned with a similar kind of game. And after that we were again assigned with a similar kind of game. So the learning curve that got almost flat. After 1 year, I was getting good money. I was the team lead there. I was handling the team, but my learning skills, they were not improving. So that was a big setback for me at that time. So that's why I decided to resign and start my own thing so I could work on my own thing and I could, grow and I can work on some new stuff. I get to pick the project now with my own company. So whenever you are working in a company, I don't know about developers in America. They must have a versatile kind of work, but over here in Pakistan, the developers, the main concern of the developers is that we don't get to work on new stuff. Our learning, kind of stops after a few years. So that's the biggest problem. So for the people who are making their own products in Pakistan, marketing is the most important thing in game development. I know the game development is really, very important, but if there's so much saturation in Play Store and App Store. If you come up with a very good game and you develop it successfully, if your game doesn't reach the end user, then how will you monetize it? How will the users increase? So that's the marketing is a very important thing, and most of the game developers they are poor in marketing because that's not their main field. Their main field is game development. So they face many problems while developing their own games and marketing it and making it reach to the end user. That's a huge problem for them.
Yeah, and you have to research and target the right audience that fits your game. And
Exactly.
you have to go where the attention is. You can't just make a game and expect people to know about it. You have to market it. You have to branding yourself, who you are, why you're creating this game, and then put it out there, advertise it or something, or spread it word of mouth, or go online and talk about the game. Or go to expos or conventions. You just got to get the word out there that you're making this game and it's coming out this later date. So marketing is definitely important. What would be the best investment you've made? Like it could be an investment of money, time, or energy. And how did you decide to make that investment?
Yeah, the best investment as a co-founder of a company, I would say the best investment. Sometimes it happens to me that some of my clients they come and they're like, I don't have much budget in the project and I don't have a lot of money for this project, but I want to do this. I see the passion, I see the potential in them, and sometimes I'm like that. I can't even break even with this cost. I have to pay my developers, I have to take care of the bills, the electricity, and all the stuff, the taxes over here. So it's really hard for me. But when I see the passion, I just say, let's do that. Let's do this project for this client. So I do that, and when the project, returns the client in terms of money, then that's a really big, thing for me too. And the client comes back with a bonus, and he's like, that you did a good job. I know we agreed with on this smaller portion of the cost, but I know you did a good job, and I got my money, and I sold my project and I got a lot of money. and now this is your, your cut. So I would say that is a kind of that's kind of investment that you, if you see potential in a product or in a game, you just go for it and just build it and guide the client along. And then whenever the client, if he earns the money and he if that project is successful, then he will definitely come back and he will hire you for another project, and he will make a long term relationship with you.
And actually, I'm the prime example of that. Even, we haven't finished our game yet, but I already want to hire you for another game. Now I'm planning out because you've been such a good developer, and the game has come along really well. He guided me through the step and process of what should I do and what should I not do, and so far it's been amazing.
Thank you so much for the kind words.
Yeah, thank you. And so, yeah, when it gets to that point, I would definitely talk more about the game. It's called Finding Leo. So when that time comes, we'll talk about it. Next, what would be the one thing you are most excited about today in the game industry?
I am excited about right now in the gaming industry. To be precise, I am excited about virtual reality and augmented reality. It's not a new thing in the market, but for most of the people, it's a new thing. I've been working on it since 3 years, for 3 years now. But for most of the people, it's a new thing and it's a new experience. And definitely, you could do so much stuff with virtual reality and augmented reality. And most of the people will know or know, but I am talking about virtual reality is, if you call what you call it Oculus Rift. That's a device. You go into a virtual world and you experience the most amazing thing in your life. And same is the case with the augmented reality. You get to do much interesting stuff with augmented reality too. So I have made quite a few apps. It is much amazing stuff, for even for our daily use, not only for games, but it kind of falls in this game development category. You can also, you can make your daily life easier with those kind of tools. So that's the most interesting thing right now, and I'm so much excited about it because I have so many ideas about that in my mind, and I know that we can create that, and we can go and pitch it to the people, and people have actually showed interest in those ideas, and they're like that this is amazing idea, and this will be definitely be very helpful for us in our homes and our businesses and stuff. So I'm really excited that people are working so much and doing this amazing stuff. Companies like Vuforia, I would like to mention Vuforia. They are doing some amazing stuff in augmented reality. They have made some plugins and SDKs of Vuforia, which are really very helpful for the game developers to go into augmented reality and do amazing stuff with a little effort. And same is the case with virtual reality. Many companies like Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg has acquired, Oculus Rift, and he's doing amazing stuff in that. Steam has launched its VR headset recently, which has some amazing results. Android has its own, Samsung Gear. So, when I see that companies are doing progress and they are working and developing much amazing stuff for the game developers, so it gets me excited.
Awesome, Bilal. Yeah, now we have reached crunch time where I will be asking you like questions at a very fast pace and you'll be giving us really good information. So are you ready to crush crunch time?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Fingers crossed.
You got this. You got this. What was holding you back from becoming a game developer?
It was the fear that I wouldn't get a job if I don't get successful in game development. So it was a part of me was thinking about that, but the bigger portion of me was literally screaming in my ears that go for it. So I ignored the smaller part and I focused on and I believed in myself. So I just strived for it and I did it. So one thing, there is no shortcut. Hard work is the key. Just keep on hard working and you will get it one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hard work. Yeah, you just got to do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Risk it.
Ooh, what do you mean by that? Risk it.
Don't always play on the safer side. Don't always play on the safer side. You lose too many opportunities just playing on the safer side because you don't risk it.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to, if there's a risk in something, for example, if you have the risk that the project won't get successful or a game won't get successful and you just drop it right there, then that's a shame for you, I guess so. Because you get to learn so many skills and so much stuff during that development period that it's worth it, to spend a little money and spend a little time on that. Because you increase your skill levels and you learn so many things that you later on you don't do that stuff, the bad things and the wrong choices, you don't make that again because your skill level gets to a new level after that.
Yeah, one thing I like to tell myself is, what's the worst that could happen if I take this route? And like, I always think about the most terrible things of something bad happening, but I overthink it. And so, yeah, taking a few risks is definitely helpful in life. And the best rewards are usually come with a lot of risk anyway. So you should test it out and see what happens. What's a personal habit that contributes to your success?
My success. I just try to be honest. We are human beings. We make mistakes. Sometimes there's a better person out there, better than you, better than me, better than everyone, if you have a certain kind of skill set, there must be a person out there which has even better skill set than you. So don't try to be perfect all the time. Admit to your mistakes, confess your mistakes, and tell people about your mistake. Maybe you get a better advice. So, and don't fake it. Just be natural, be honest, and go with the flow. And that will, if you stay honest, then definitely you get success in life. There's no such thing as overnight success. It takes time. So keep on hard working in the right direction, and you will get it one day.
Share an internet resource like Evernote.
I personally use quite a few project management softwares like Asana, Trello. They are really helpful for me to manage the project. I make daily task over there and assign it to the developers, and then I can see the progress over there. The clients are also there; they can see the progress, and then I get to manage the deadlines and milestones daily. So that's really helpful for me. So Asana and Trello, these are the two uh, good tools which I use.
For project management. Okay. What book would you recommend and why?
Few months back, over here our native language is Urdu. We don't speak English in our homes and we don't speak English in our schools. The English is a mandatory subject, but our communication skills, our writing skills are much better, but our communication skills are not that good. You would have, you would have figured it out by now because my English is so poor. My communication. So yeah. So I thought of buying a book and reading the book and a novel and increasing my vocabulary. So every time I went through a book, I just I stopped at a word and I would look at it up on the Google and I'll search and search about the meaning of that word, and that kind of helped me increase my vocabulary. So my communication became better a little bit, not that much, but comparatively a little better.
What's also cool about that, for one, you increase your vocabulary, which also increase your communication. And if you're a writer, you actually can make your story better by using like new words or something. And so it can actually be good for a writer too, or for storytelling maybe.
Yes, definitely. You can even write your own blogs with that.
All right, yeah. So this last question, it's a bit of a doozy. So take your time if you need to. Imagine you woke up the next morning in a brand new world and you knew no one. You still have all the experience and knowledge you currently have today. Your food and shelter is taken care of and you have a laptop. What would you do in the next few days on the path to become a great game developer?
My food and shelter taken care of, then I'll definitely work on some amazing ideas which I have in mind for quite a few years now, but I didn't get the time to work on them because I have to take care of, as I told you that I am running a company, so I have to take care of my clients and services too. So service is always my first priority. I always work on my products in the spare time. So once I deliver all the stuff to my clients, And if I get a few time, then I get to work on my ideas. So I have so many ideas which I want to work on, but I don't have the time. Then I'll work on all those ideas. If I wish that happens to me, in fact. Yeah, that's one of my fantasy actually.
That's the thing. So that's the whole point of the question. Just imagine that you're starting from scratch again, and you want to start on these ideas. What would you start doing to get those ideas rolling?
Yes, I'll definitely target some, I'll look around my environment, and I'll see some people, and I'll see that what business are they doing around me, and then I'll target, what is better for them. So I'll make a few, softwares which will be helpful for them at that time, and then the people will start believing in me that this is the guy. He's helping everyone, and he's coming up with some new amazing ideas. Then I'll, make some. I'll think of a game. I'll generate an idea according to that, that particular population, what their mindset is. For example, in Sweden, racing games are preferred. I'll see whether those people are, more interested in augmented reality or VR or mobile games. If they use more mobile, then I'll definitely go for a mobile game. So that's what I'll do.
Bilal, that is great. Just find an audience out there. It could be locally or it could be on the website or online. Just find an audience that you could target and create a game that would fit that target. Something like figure out what they want in a game, figure out what they like, figure out what they're into, and then just make a game towards that. And they will buy it and look into it because you basically created what they wanted. And yeah, I think that would be a great start for new game developers.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That will be better for the audience as for you, because if you target it for a specific audience, definitely you will get a feedback. Definitely you will get a positive feedback if the people are getting, if the people are taking advantage, then you will be definitely you will get a positive feedback, and that will motivate you for your next game, and you will keep working on that line.
Oh, yes. All right. Now we're at the end. Go ahead and give a parting piece of guidance in how we can connect with you.
Yeah, just reach out to me. You can reach out to me through my email anytime. I'll send you my email, and then we can definitely, you can paste it over there, and they can reach out to me, and I'm available on my phone, on my email, on my Skype. And if you need any guidance or any sort of help, I'm always there.
Thank you, Bilal. It's been a pleasure, and I would definitely link up all of Bilal's website, links, information. So make sure you check out GameDevLoadout.com for all of the show notes and links. That is GameDevLoadout.com. Once again, thank you, Bilal, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity. I hope people, get some advantage out of this talk we had. So thank you so much once again, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you, Game Devs, for listening, and remember that knowledge is only potential power. Execution is the game. So equip yourself with the best loadout and take action today. Go check out GameDevLoadout.com for all the resources. I highly encourage you to contact me as well because I would love to hear your thoughts on the show. And if this podcast inspired you, I would greatly appreciate it if you spread the word to help the show grow. Until then, join me on the next episode. T-Chan